Hey everyone, I've been advised by a team of lawyers at Monto Tech Industries Incorporated to disclose that I'm a paid actor and not actually Monto Tech and do not represent any views of Monto Tech Industries and Associates LLC. I've been paid exorbitant, life-changing amounts of money to distribute gaming news and gaming news only. So let's get into the gaming news. A demo of the highly anticipated Pokemon ROM hack named Pokemon Lazarus was just released last Friday, made by the same creator as Pokemon Emerald Sea Glass. It has some crazy features like wild encounters in the overworld. You can see the Pokemon and then you can go battle and try and capture it. It features a brand new region based on Greece and the surrounding islands. It has a new storyline, day and night cycle as well. So a lot of cool things come with this very unique ROM hack, and the demo is totally free, so go check it out on the developer's Ko-fi page. MinUI just got a major glow up in the form of a fork that's called NextUI. You might have heard about it if you're tapped into the scene. NextUI is essentially a more robust version of MinUI with box art, finally, a game switcher, cheat support, even lower latency, high quality audio, tons of very useful things, and a lot of other really cool features. It's currently on version 2.5.2 at the time of recording this, and it has a whole page-long list of tweaks and improvements over MinUI. You can actually check it out on the GitHub. I'll pull it up on screen now. Now, it's a relatively new operating system, so right now it still only supports the TrimUI Brick and the TrimUI Smart Pro. But I can imagine that we'll start to see compatibility on other handhelds as this gains more traction. I'm hoping that some of the more niche ones like the GKD Pixel 2 get some support. If you want to check out a review on that, I actually just released one almost about 2 weeks ago at this point, so in YouTube time, that's about 20 years. Go check that out. It's super in-depth. It's about an hour long, so I hope you like long reviews. Anyways, and in other custom firmware related news, we have a new version of MuOS, aka Mustard OS. Mustard is on the beat, ho. Go check that out. It's called MuOS Pixie. Here's a couple highlights of the latest update. So it adds an activity tracker, which is kind of like a big part of Onion OS on the Miu Mini. It has an activity tracker where it tracks how long you've been playing each game or using each app. It's really cool. It's kind of fun to look back on how long you played a certain game. And it also adds additional modes to brightness and volume settings, so you get a little more minute control over that. We also get console mode now, so when you plug in an HDMI cable and power it on, you get a full screen 16:9 experience. Great for plugging it into your TV and getting all mustarded up. We also have application container support, so that should open up potentially more applications. Some new external apps include a box art scraper, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi hotspot, C-Tube for YouTube videos. If you do get that, you know where to go, Monto Tech. It also adds collection modules to replace favorites. So it looks like you'll probably have more control over your own custom collections. And it also adds on-device screenshot managers if you're a big old fan of screenshots, I guess. You can go check out the full list of changes. I'll link the MuOS Pixie update page in the description below. So check that out if you are interested in Mustard OS. Now here's some news for anyone who's interested in PortMaster or has a device that's capable of PortMaster. If you do and you haven't tried it, you gotta try it out. It's a crazy application that essentially lets you install full-blown ports of retail games, free-to-play games on your device. You got Half-Life, Diablo, Celeste, Stardew Valley, Balatro, Guacamelee, just thousands of boards. It's crazy. Over the last month, there's probably been, it looks like about 20-30 ports released. A couple of the highlights include La Mulana, a platforming adventure game, Open Enroth, which is a port of Might and Magic 7 for Blood and Honor, Free Call, which is a clone of Sid Meier's Colonization, and Pokewilds, an open world Pokemon fan game with an emphasis on survival and exploration elements. Fully custom, it's not a ROM hack, this is a port. It features procedurally generated worlds, base building, and freeform gameplay. It only runs effectively on powerful devices, and that includes the Retroid Pocket 5, Retroid Pocket Mini, Retro Deck, etc. I feel like the amount of people who have a Retroid Pocket 5 and a Linux operating system on it are pretty few and far between. But if you're out there, you should go check out PokeWilds. Anyways, big news in the Retroid world. Last Monday, Retroid released the long-awaited Retroid Pocket Flip 2 and the less long-awaited Pocket Classic, which is a vertical Game Boy Color style device. And they launched on Monday and they sold out instantly, is what I would say if they sold out instantly. They're still available. If you're interested in picking one up, at the time of recording this, they're still out there, so you can pick it up. It seems like the only ones that are fully sold out are the 4GB, 64 gig storage models, but you're only saving $10 by going with that instead of the higher RAM, higher capacity ones. 50% more RAM and twice the storage for $10 more. I think that's a no-brainer, as DJ Khaled and Justin Bieber would say.
It's a no-brainer.
In less popular news, Ayaneo is teasing an upcoming handheld that's probably coming far in the future. It's called the Ayaneo Pocket Ace, and it's a top-tier performance, perfect size, and stunning designed handheld. So here's their little tease. Only this performance deserves to be called a retro handheld. Basically dunking on every handheld that existed before, during, and after the release of this monumental handheld from Ayaneo. So we know that it has between a 4 and a 6-inch screen. Something tells me it's gonna be 5 inches exactly. And you know, that's massive. Like, come on fellas, 5 inches is towering. It's Goliath tier. And it'll have over 5,000 milliamp hour battery. We gotta do some deductive reasoning here, but something tells me it's gonna be 5,500 milliamp hours. Maybe if they wanna like totally just slam dunk LeBron James that number, then they'll put a 6,000 milliamp hour battery in it. But I'm assuming to keep the size and weight down, they're gonna do a 5,500 milliamp hours. Go get him, give it a shot, Ayaneo. I don't know if they're exactly the last airbender that I trust to come back and save the retro handheld space, but more handhelds is always better, right? Meanwhile, Powkiddy leaked the RGB50, a horizontal handheld with 2 analog sticks and kind of a Retroid Pocket 5 inspired start select menu buttons. Is that an RGB button? Hold the phone. Yep, you're seeing that right. It's an RGB button on the bottom left. If you're looking to hot swap RGB on and off, then this is the handheld for you. The RGB50 looks like it's going for a 3:2 aspect ratio display, which is, as you might know, the Game Boy Advance ratio. So this will do perfect upscaling on Game Boy Advance games. They should look fantastic. Now these are all speculations right now, but it's looking like it might have a 4.5-inch 3:2 display at 1080p, which will be outlandishly high-end for a Powkiddy device, so I'm excited to see that. In terms of performance, it's looking like the ballpark of the Anbernic RG557, which puts it at everything under GameCube and PS2. So we're looking at like great N64 performance, Dreamcast, Saturn, PlayStation 1 obviously, and it's a nice mid-ground between 4:3 and 16:9 display. If we do have that level of performance, then I'm assuming that price is gonna be somewhere in the $120 range, maybe slightly higher depending on, you know, if it's an OLED screen or, you know, what other kind of crazy features Powkiddy puts in there. But they usually tend to make, you know, more affordable devices, so I think we can expect $120 to $130 for a price tag on this. Speaking of handheld leaks, I've been hearing a lot about the Anbernic RG557. I've been hearing the rumblings, the whispers in the streets of the long-awaited Anbernic RG557, which is the sequel to the Electric Boogaloo to the RG556. All these things are unconfirmed reports of friends, and I just want to put it on the record here. you can call me one of those friends, because I got some insider info. You're looking at the RG556 boy. So if they were to release it, it's coming in the next few weeks. If I have seen a video of the RG557, here would be the hypothetical specs. It has the same battery capacity at 5,500 milliamp hours, but it now supports fast charging at 27 watts, 9 volt, 3 amps. It has the same exact design and shape with the same size bezel around the screen, but it's slightly more rounded buttons. It seems, looks like it's a little bit softer. And looking at the other recent leaks of the different body shape that kind of has these Xbox style buttons and different layout, these aren't actually accurate. Based on what I've hypothetically seen, it looks exactly like the original 556. The same exact body shape, same button layout, same everything. It's basically indistinguishable outside of the updated battery, internals, and potentially softer buttons. And also, speaking of those buttons, if you look at the leaks, you can see that the A is on the bottom and the Y is on the top. That's the Xbox style layout. Anbernic is not switching to the Xbox style layout, let's be real. Every other retro handheld has the Nintendo layout with the A on the right and the X on the top. So by that logic, the leaks are just for a different device entirely. Also, there's no Anbernic retro game launcher button that was on the 556, so this is most likely for an entirely unrelated device. Now, moving from deductive reasoning into inductive reasoning, it might have Hall effect analog sticks, considering that the industry is kind of shifting to more affordable Hall effect analog stick options. Now, for rumors that I can't personally validate, hypothetically of course, the big upgrade for the RG557 is the processor. It's gonna have a significantly more powerful processor that's rumored to be a custom Snapdragon G2. I can't find the clock speeds for this specific chip, but we'll finally have support for Adreno drivers, which means WinLater support, turnip driver support for better Switch emulation, and overall better compatibility across the board, especially when it comes to general emulation. Snapdragon is the top tier of what you want, and having a custom Snapdragon chip will be pretty sweet. And this newer chipset will also bring along with it a better Wi-Fi, so potentially Wi-Fi 6, which would bring better game streaming, and improved battery efficiency. So we're gonna be squeezing more charge out of that 5,500 milliamp hour battery. It's gonna last for longer, and then we can just fast charge it back up to full capacity. Very exciting stuff. But again, this is all hypothetical. I don't I don't want a tinted van parked outside of my place with the Anbernic ninjas knocking on my door. So this is all hypothetical stuff. Just know it's a little more concrete than the rest of them. Over in Android news, RPCS3 now has custom driver support, which is like, this app has made such huge strides in the little time that it's been out. It's kind of scary. Extremely impressive what they're doing. And with this custom GPU driver support, we can finally add turnip drivers on Snapdragon devices that actually increase performance based on the device that you're using. If you have a more powerful Snapdragon device like an Odin 2 or an Odin 2 Mini or an Odin 2 Portal, basically any Odin 2 device, then you should definitely check this out. If you do try it out, leave a comment below with what kind of performance results you're getting. I'm so curious where we're at with PS3 emulation on Android. And if you haven't heard, Lime 3DS and Citra have mega-zorded into one emulator called Azahar. So if you do have Lime 3DS downloaded for 3DS emulation on Android, you should be able to just update right to Azahar, which is an open source 3DS emulator that's based on Citra. Now with this GoTanks level fusion here, we get the benefits of both emulators just power packed into one. Azahar runs on Windows, Mac, Linux, and Android. So if you have any of those devices, and especially an Android one, then give this one a download. So with all that game news out of the way, what games have I been playing? And by I mean what games have Monto been playing, because again, I'm a paid actor. I've been playing the Majora's Mask port, Ship of Harkinian 2, aka 2 Ship 2 Harkinian. I've been playing it on my Powkiddy X35H. Check out that review, which may or may not be released by the time this video comes out. I've also been playing UFO 50, the port of that on the GKD Pixel 2. There's a ton of surprisingly addictive games inside of this game. That was a complete curveball. I didn't expect to like that as much as I did. My favorite games so far are Party House, Bug Hunter, and Night Manor. I'm not even like a big fan of 80s games, but these kind of pseudo imaginary 80s games, 80s inspired games are just so much fun. Add that to your backlog. I know a thing or two about backlogs, but just put that at the top of the backlog and then watch my backlog video as you play that. Next one I've been playing a lot of is Cave Story Evo, specifically the Evo one. I've been playing that on my GKD Pixel 2 as well. It's a great flight game. Just throw in some earbuds and just run around and play Cave Story. I like the Evo one specifically because it has glow feature where every light source, everything glows a little bit. It's just like a very fun effect that looks great on smaller handhelds too. It kind of elevates the whole experience. And then the last game I've been playing is Pokemon Prism. I've been playing that one on the Miu Mini V4. That is a Pokemon Crystal ROM hack, I believe. I got a special video that I'm working on about the Miu Mini, this little handheld. This thing is such a beautiful, fun little device. It's so charming. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe if you want to see more gaming news like this. Thanks for tuning in to the gaming news brought to you by Monto Tech Brothers and Sons Incorporated Industries. I'm a representative of said company, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.